Hello. Sorry, this light is like directly blaring in my eyes. I have a Jolly Rancher in my mouth, I'm sorry. I can never remember how to do this. Why did you just turn off? Don't do that. Oh, I've strayed far from the light. I don't know how to get it back on. And this history right and this Jolly Rancher in my mouth was suddenly feeling like a massive mistake. There's a lot going on right now, you guys. Okay, that's better. How do I get this back on? That was weird. Lightning? Hi! My little light won't come on. This is... Okay. That was thunder. Did you just hear that? That was insane. You saw me be like, was that lightning? Oh my god. If the power goes out, I'm sorry. That was crazy. Okay. That was a lot. I need to fix my background. Ah. My light's not working. There we fucking go. Are you gonna... No? Why are you working? I don't know how to make it the pink purple that I like. There we go. That was a lot. It's Tom, though. Thank you for subscribing. All right, let me fix my background, and then let's get into it. What are we doing next week? Lindsay Lohan. Give people a couple minutes to join. I really need to start doing this more in advance and not like in front of you guys on live. Today we are learning about Jennifer Tilly. She is an actress and an icon, and she is so mother. Like, one thing about her is she is mother. First time making it live, welcome. Be nice to my first time people. You guys always are, but good behavior should be rewarded and reminded. You know what I'm saying? Lemur Banana, thank you for subscribing for 44 months. For anyone that's here on a weekly basis, if you want to subscribe, that's cool. If you don't, that's also cool. I'm happy you're here, regardless of the monetary contribution you make to this endeavor. Oh my god, why isn't the graphic working? This is so difficult. Okay, god. I like how I'm like using a computer to remove a background image, and I'm like, wow, could it be any slower? Just page. Yep. First day of school is in the morning. Sorry. My condolences, but that's a lot. That's just quite a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this thing. My boyfriend says hi whenever I'm able to catch a live. Tell him I said hi. I assume he's been vetted by you. That's how we do things around here. I'm here, but I just waited at Taco Bell for 26 minutes. That's a long time. I would be a little bit displeased. I probably wouldn't say anything, but I would be a little bit displeased. If I seem a little off, it's because we are on the white wine tonight. Tonight we are talking about Miss Jennifer Tilly. I should go live on TikTok. That's what I should do. Let me plug my phone in. Jennifer Tilly. Who is this woman? Actually, I'll do a poll to see who here knows of her. Do you know Jennifer Tilly? Kinda. I've seen her. No, not at all. Cannot type. Yes. Just answer whatever feels true to your spirit. You finally completed the pipeline. Oh my God, I'm glad you're here. I love when people complete the pipeline. The pipeline is where you find me, usually on TikTok or Instagram, and then you end up coming to YouTube, and then you come to Twitch. Some people come straight to Twitch, which is an interesting pipeline. I know absolutely nothing about this woman. Okay, good. I did not know a ton about her until I decided to put her in this stream. And she is so diva. You guys are really gonna like her. Sorry, TikTok's giving me a hard time. What else is new? Like I said, she's very, very diva. So, we have a lot of iconic clips of her as well. My God, why is everything so difficult all the time? Like, I don't know how to use my phone. I'm a boomer. Everything is hell. I have to fucking set it to adults only, or else I get banned. Because everything is awful. Okay. Try being an influencer for a day. Okay. So, 52% of you said no, you do not know her at all. 32% said I've seen her, and 16% said yes. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I did not know a ton about her until I did this stream. So who is this? Jennifer Tilly is an Academy Award nominated actress and a professional poker player. She has been around for a long time. She has been working for a very long time, and she has done many, many, many things that we are going to discuss tonight. I assumed a lot of you would not be familiar with Miss Jennifer Tilly's work. And so I was like, you know what? Some fan edits are going to be a very good starting place. Tonight is going to have lots of videos, so you're in for a treat for those of you here live, because we all know YouTube hates when you watch YouTube videos on YouTube, because she has been in so many iconic things. So you are going to see some really cool things, some really vintage core things that I had to like dig in the depths of YouTube for. It's going to be cool. For those of you on TikTok, you have to come to Twitch to see all the videos and the cool stuff. Let's go ahead and get into it. Who is Jennifer Tilly?
Sorry, I'm not into short guys.
This is what cowboys wear when they go on hikes. They wear their cowboy boots.
She always just talk about.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, not to be rude. I know she's a millennial and everything, but does Amanda even know who Jennifer Tilly is?
So she is an icon, and I felt like that was going to be obvious from the jump. So Jennifer Tilly was born as a Jennifer Aline Chan, I think, September 16th, 1958 in Harbor City, Los Angeles, California, to Harry Chan, who was a used car salesman, and Patricia Tilly, who was a school teacher and former stage actress. Her father is a Chinese American, and her Canadian mother is like a mix of a few things, Irish, Finnish, and like Native American, but Canadian, so Indigenous Canadian, I guess. And she has siblings. She has an older brother, and she has two younger sisters. Her older brother is Steve, and her younger sister, Meg and Rebecca. Meg is a writer, and Rebecca is an artist. So pretty big family, 4 kids. There's in this picture, there's 5 of them. I don't know if that's another kid. I don't know who that is. But yeah, here's some pictures of her as a baby. Oh my God, you have the same birthday as her? She's a Virgo. So she uses her mother's maiden name. Like we saw, that's not her dad's last name. That's not the name that she was born with. But she uses Tilly, which is her mother's maiden name, and she chose to use that as an adult for her acting career. So I did not know that. Not that it really matters that much, but when I was putting this together, I was like, wait, what? And then I looked up, why did she change her name? And you will see, because lots of reasons why you can change a name. I was just curious, but it ended up just kind of being an adult thing. Then she was like, I'm an adult, I want to be a Tilly. So I don't know if it just like sounded better because it does sound cool, or if she was like, I hate my dad, and both of those are valid. So this is about to get very intense very quickly. The vast majority of tonight is going to be very lighthearted, but the next couple minutes are not going to be lighthearted. I had no idea about this. When I picked her, I had no clue that like I said, had no idea about this, but it was like pretty easy to find. It was not exactly like hidden deep somewhere. So she had a very, very, very tumultuous childhood. And no, she is not MAGA. I actually just looked this up because I realized when I was doing, I put this together, I was like, there weren't really any major scandals, and I didn't see anything about her political beliefs. And so I looked it up, and she's really never said anything politically, but she has supported a lot of like LGBTQ charities and other nonprofit work that is things that are politicized, but she has never said anything politically at all, and she's not had any really scandals that I could find. So, yeah. You don't have to be scared. There's nothing tonight that you're going to be like, oh, man. Well, this is, but it's not to her. It's to what was done in her childhood. So my partner said, oh yeah, that she's MAGA, and she has hinted on Beverly Hills about her childhood being bad. So let's get into her very, very, very rough childhood. Following her parents' divorce when she was 5, she was raised by her mom and stepfather. So that's why also I was curious about her last name. It seems like she moved away from her dad when she was relatively young. Her stepfather was John Ward, and this was on a rural island in British Columbia, which is Canada. So she grew up, like, in LA, but also grew up in rural Canada, which, like, imagine living in Los Angeles and then being sent to rural Canada. Like, rural Canada, your people are lovely. Your weather, not so much. I'm sorry. So, according to her sister, the stepfather was a, quote, sadistic pedophile. And the other sister, Rebecca, agreed with that. Jennifer Tilly did not say anything about it. Rule. Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. I know I say rule wrong. It's a hard word to say. There's a few words I can't say. One of them is rule. I have to really focus on it. Rule. I also can't say, I don't even want to say it because you're going to make fun of me. You know the wooden guitar? It starts with an A, ends with stick. I can't say that word. The rural drawer? Exactly. I say crayon. Crayon. Like, this fucking government name. People that say crown are fucking crazy. Drawer? I don't say draw like the Boston way. People that say crown, no, get out of here with crown. I say crayon. Crayon. Like a vodka crayon. Stop making fun of me. Unless you're volunteering to pay for my speech therapy. I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry. All normal. Thank you. I feel like I don't talk that weird. Like, there's a few words I say a little bit weird. I can't say it either. Too many R's too close together. Okay, back to Jennifer Tilly. Stop talking about me saying words wrong. We're trying to have a serious conversation about her horrendous childhood. So apparently her stepfather, according to her other sisters, was a sadistic pedophile. Jennifer Tilly has not spoken on this. And then Jennifer Tilly's mom and this dude that sucks got divorced when Jennifer Tilly was 16. So this guy was in her life for like over 10 years. Or maybe 10, I don't know. Because her parents divorced when she was 5. So, like, let's say at least, like, 5 to 10 years. Somewhere in there that this awful guy was in her life. And she has never defended him or said, I disagree with my sisters. She has just not said a word. And so, after that divorce, their family moved to Langford, which is a suburb of Victoria, where Tilly attended Belmont Secondary School and graduated from Esquimalt High School. So I thought that this, like, I was like, oh, she's a cool actress. And then I was like, oh my God, your mother married a pedophile? Like, that's insane. That's so fucking insane. And this is from a New York Times article that we're going to reference throughout this because it was honestly a really good article. So this is from her mouth, what she said to the New York Times reporter. We will get into what the sister said in a minute, but first I wanted her to talk on her experience of her childhood because she's the focus of tonight. So Miss Tilly makes no secret of her humble origins. When we were little, we used to move every year. She was the second of 4 children. Born in LA, father was a salesman, like we said. And her mother is described as a debutante turned hippie, was a Canadian school teacher and a stage actress. They divorced, so she was raised mainly in rural Canada, rural British Columbia by her mother and stepfather. They told us growing up that he painted post offices and that when he finished painting one post office, we had to go look for others, she says of her stepfather. My sister has her dark theories. She thinks they may have been run out of town. She was referring to Meg Tilly, one of her 2 sisters, who's also an accomplished actress and Academy Award nominee, who has gone on to have a second career as a novelist. We could never have friends that would sleep over when we were growing up, Meg said by the phone from her home in British Columbia because there wouldn't be enough for everyone to eat. Their shared challenges forged a durable bond, she added. The two sisters imagined that when they grew up, they would each have lots of money and open a store. Meg's would be a confectionery where children without enough money could get free candy, and Jennifer dreamed of selling glamorous gowns. So... No, she is not the youngest. She is second of 4. So she has an older brother and 2 younger sisters. This stream just turned into crime fam all of a sudden. No, I know. It happened like very quickly. Like I said, we're going to start very serious and then the rest of it is very lighthearted. So that is what she has said about her childhood. She has like, some of this was from her sister's quotes, but what she said about we were moving around a lot, we didn't have much money. So she has been open about the struggles in her childhood. Her sister has been much, I don't want to say more open because I just don't know what Jennifer's experience was, but her sister has shared a lot of details very recently about her experience. This is an Old People magazine article from 2006. It's titled Scars of Her Youth. More than a decade after quitting acting, Meg Tilly exercises with demons of her abusive childhood through writing. Wayback Machine is awesome. It's an internet archive, so like when People magazine and places like that, like every website does it, takes down these old articles, they make it so they're still on there because like a lot of our media is getting lost now that it's mostly digital and not print, and like storage and companies hate us, etc., etc. So a lot of it's getting lost. So it's really good to support things like this. And you can see they like archived this in 2016. There's like other articles on the side. But yeah, I love Wayback Machine. So I just wanted to plug them. Sorry, I have a bug bite on my ankle and it feels so good to scratch it, but like I actually really, really need to stop. Okay, focus. So this is the sister, in an article from 2006. Meg Tilly's star was definitely on the rise. She caught critics' attention for her turn in the 1983 boomer classic The Big Chill, and at age 25 won an Oscar nomination for 1985's Agnes of God. But in 1994, having cooled on the Hollywood lifestyle, she walked away to raise her family. Today, in the world of premieres and preening, she always seems shrouded in the mist, like the tale of your dream you can't quite grasp. There was a time when she felt the same, or tried to, about her childhood. But now Tilly, 46, Tilly being her sister, has decided it's time to lift that particular veil. With the publication of her second book, Gemma, the former actress, whose sister is actress Jennifer Tilly, is speaking publicly about the physical, sexual, and emotional abuse she says she endured at the hands of several male relatives and acquaintances, 2 in particular, throughout her youth. The Costco wine is here. It's in this thing. This is... I should have taken a picture of it. Let me look it up. I'll look it up after this because this is serious. But I do have the Costco wine. I wanted to get through the seriousness before I started drinking because I didn't, obviously. So this is what her sister is saying about her childhood. You spend the first part of your life, or at least I did, trying to fix things, but you realize that you're constantly choking on your own truth. I kept thinking there are other kids out there in these types of abusive situations, and I just don't want to carry secrets. Those secrets date back to her early years growing up in Canada and California, as she recalls grim poverty, that for food, she and her siblings were sometimes forced to catch and cook squirrels and snakes. The third of 4 children, so Jennifer is second, Meg is third. The third of 4 children, she was 3 when her parents divorced. She had little contact with her father. Their dad died in the early 2000s. Her mother soon began dating John Ward, who became Tilly's stepfather, and she says was a pedophile with a sadistic streak. She remembers a Christmas where instead of the usual gifts of candy or whipped cream, her and her sisters awoke to find the most beautiful dolls we'd ever seen, courtesy of her mother. But the joy soon turned to terror. We were making too much noise, so my stepfather came bursting out of the bedroom and beat us all, she says. I remember the sound of the belt coming through the loops. He'd whack you across the face. He'd whack you anywhere. So, it seems like a very, very abusive childhood, and also living through extreme poverty and having to, like, literally forage for your food. She also says, this is really fucked up, so, like, trigger warning, child abuse, sexual abuse. She says that her stepfather would watch her bathe and would give her French kissing lessons and would fondle her by the time she hit early adolescence. And she says she learned how to get away, how to jump out of a window and climb up the roof. And he died a long time ago, because this was from 2006 and it says a decade ago. So that means he died in the 90s, and he was never charged with any of these abuses. Like we already said, their mom did get a divorce from this guy after being married to him for like 9-ish years, I think. Then Meg Tilly was 13, and they moved the family in with a boyfriend, and Meg Tilly says that guy was a monster too. All of a sudden, he would pull out a butcher knife and decide we were all going to be killed. He too was never charged. So very, very real and very intense childhood trauma. Jennifer declined to comment on this, but their younger sister, Becky, does corroborate this. She said, I share the same memories. Our mother's boyfriend was fiendish, and my stepfather was a horrific individual. And how does she feel about her sister's openness? Becky said, I support her 100%. So, like I said, Jennifer Tilly has not come out and said, oh, that didn't happen. She just hasn't really talked about it, other than saying, I know my sister has dark theories, but that's not really confirming or denying. And also, it's always important to remember that, like, different people can live through the same household and be treated differently and have different outcomes and all of that. So I don't think Jennifer Tilly is, like, going against her sister or not believing her sister in any way. It's just her and her sister, I think, had individual experiences, and they've chosen to handle them how they've handled them through adulthood. Like, I think, I don't know, a lot of people will be like, oh, they'll kind of use stuff like this to not believe victims, and I don't really think that that is right or applicable, because, like I said, everyone has their different experience. And everyone is entitled to share or not share what their experiences were. So Meg Tilly doesn't know about the whereabouts of the mother's former boyfriend. As for Mom, I love her very much, but we don't see each other as much as we used to. And Meg Tilly gave her mom a copy of her book, and Tilly now admits it was semi-autobiographical, and her mom said, oh, I see what you mean, it's all fiction. So I try not to judge mothers, but you brought your children around an abusive man not once but twice for long periods of time, and that's not great. And I understand, like, it was a different time, but it's still not good. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like a very, very, very rough childhood. So her sister was an actress as well, and then got married, had kids, kind of stepped out of the limelight. She apparently was in a relationship with Colin Firth at one point, and then she's married to a guy and lives a more private life. And she said that in shedding her secret, she's never been happier. She credits her children with giving her strength to publicly face her past demons. When you have children, you ask them to tell the truth. How can you ask that if you don't do it yourself? So, holy shit. Holy shit. And Jennifer may not want to bring it up. Exactly. And that's what, like, Jennifer has talked about what she wants to talk about. So if she doesn't want to talk about things, or if she did or did not experience things, that's her business, not ours, you know? Sorry, I've been really into my water today. I will, like, go, like, 2 days without drinking water and then drink, like, gallons within one day. That's probably not good for you, but whatever. So that was a lot. Let's kind of level set. Where are we? What's happening? What's going on? Insanely traumatic childhood. Insanely traumatic childhood. We mainly learned about it through her sister, who has been very open about her own experience. But Jennifer Tilly did talk about the poverty and moving around a lot and the instability, and the timeline of stepfather, etc. So insanely traumatic childhood, moved around between Canada and California and was moving a lot in between those places. She graduated high school around 1976. She started doing theater when she was in high school. She did go to college. I could not find the year that she graduated, but it was sometime in the late 70s or early 80s. She got a bachelor's degree in theater from Stevens College in Missouri. And people, like, I was gonna look up when did she move to LA, but she kind of grew up in the area and her dad lived in the area, but she started her professional acting career in LA in 1983. But I know she had, like, other jobs other than acting that she's talked about that you'll see tonight. So this is just kind of a rough timeline. Again, like, born in the late 50s, sorry. Born in the late 50s, horrible childhood, did theater from a very young age. My dad was super abusive. I tell everyone my siblings keep it to themselves. It's all just a different way to handle trauma. The other thing is what she says in the public might not match conversations she and her sister have had, which is totally fine, and we can't judge the relationship just on interviews. Exactly. And I think, like, Jennifer Tilly's been in the public eye for a very long time, and she seems like a somewhat private person in some ways. And her sister lives a private life and then publicly talked about this through her book and kind of did it through her art as like a way to channel that. Like I said, there's no like wrong way to handle that as a victim. So, and I'm not to say who's a victim and who's not a victim. But back to Jennifer Tilly and her early acting. So if you remember, her mother was an actress as well. Her mother did like a lot of theater things. So in high school, she developed an interest in theater, and she was participating in plays with the extra assistance of her mother. So her mom was very supportive of the acting. Like we said, she went to college for acting. These monologues were from 1979. So this is around the time she's like late college, early career.
Hi, welcome to LA. Hope you enjoyed your flight. No, I want you to have it. You look like you need a flower. Have you found the true way? I used to be just like you until I discovered the road to inner peace through the work of our group. Now I'm dedicated to spreading the word and helping others. Would you like to help us with a donation? But that flower costs money, and it looks nice on you. When I saw you, I thought you would want to help me. Please.
Is she auditioning for a role of Citizens of Jonestown? So I was going to say, I thought about prefacing this, and I should have, with people saying she seems culty. Remember, this is theater college in the 1970s. And it is a monologue. So the point of them is to be dramatic and interesting and to showcase the ability to act. So this is very like theater core, but her degree is in theater. This is not acting for television. This is theater.
Forget it. Just forget it. You say I can't go out unless I'm home by 12, all right? All right, I just won't go out, that's all. That's what you wanted, isn't it? To make me the least popular girl in the whole school? Then why won't you let me go out?
So, like I said, very theater core. And she is so cutie. This is her, like, in her early 20s acting, some of her first, like, gigs and professional photos and things like that. She's very successful from the jump. Like I said, we started in a really bad place, and it's really going to be, like, pretty positive vibes from here on out. The first monologue was very convincing because I was definitely feeling scared. And that is one thing is, like, she is an old school trained actress. Like, she is a theater actress and a professional actress. Like, a lot of these girls can play one thing. No, Jennifer Tilly is an actress, you know? And she is absolutely stunning, has such natural beauty, so talented. So she, like I said, pretty good vibes for the rest of the night. And for the person on TikTok asking where I stream this, it's on Twitch and it's free to watch. So I definitely rebooted her 80s pics on Tumblrs. When she could be on her own, that's when she started glowing. So she was pretty successful from the jump, graduated college in the late 70s, early 80s, and then she got a job in 1983, had a reoccurring guest role on Hill Street Blues as Gina Srignoli, a mobster's widow who becomes romantically involved with the detective. Like I said, we're going to see a lot of very old school clips tonight.
Excuse me. This is Gina Sprignoli, Paul's widow. She's here to see her husband.
My sympathies, Mrs. Sprignoli.
Thank you.
Things are a little hectic around here today.
Can I use your phone?
Mine is
He
good.
wants to file a $10 million wrongful death suit against you.
Mrs. Sprignoli?
Yes?
Hi, I'm Detective Harry Garibaldi. On behalf of all of us here, I'd just like to express our deepest condolences.
That's kind of you. I know that Paul wasn't always on the best of terms with the police, so it's gratifying to know he had a friend.
Did you know that he talked about you all the time?
He never mentioned you, but then he liked to keep his business affairs private.
Why don't you let me get you a cup of coffee, and when they finish downstairs, they'll let us know.
Okay. Was his death painful?
Oh no, very sudden, like that.
He's still my life.
So you get it. She is acting. It is the 1980s. Then she is on her first credited on-screen role in the short-lived sitcom from 1984, Shaping It Up. Is that her natural voice? It is an exaggerated version of her natural voice. And one thing that I like about her that I find interesting is, like, she is kind of like a character in and of herself. Like, she kind of plays a dramatized version of herself. And we'll get into the voice. She talks about it in an article that we're going to read. This is her in Frasier, where she played a ditzy, seductive date, Candy Pearson.
Frasier has failed miserably.
I'm sorry, miss, but I just figured out what this is all about. I'm not in the habit of fraternizing with women of your type.
What type is that?
Well, you know, fun. Good night.
I'm trying to remember what Costco wine this is. I should have brought the bottle up here.
I don't believe it. Fraser just turned down Candy. If it was me, I'd be making a
Oh,
scrambled
I put
eggs
these
by
in the
now.
wrong order.
I'm sure she'd prefer that
Ugh. The next one says Cheers, and it's going to be Frasier.
to sex.
I goofed.
Why do you open your
Frasier
mouth?
is a spin-off of Cheers.
I didn't know she was there, huh? You know, we need to put a little bell on her.
I'll go get the bottle at the end because I put it in here so that it'll stay cold. And then, so yeah, acting, very successful, booking work, like, is by all means, I'm of the belief that if you're performing and you're making money doing it, you are successful. And by that definition, she is successful. She's funny. She's mainly doing comedic acting. Here is her on a talk show in the late 80s.
I
late
haven't
80s.
had any trouble with this outfit. It stays together.
Okay.
I worked to the Ace Awards and I didn't win an award, so I thought
Ace
I'd wear
Awards
it on
are the
national
cable.
TV. Yeah, awards for cable excellence.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Nothing.
Trick?
No,
Oh, you.
no trick.
Okay. Were you up for an Ace Award?
Yes, I was nominated for Best Actress in a Comedy Series. But I
Thank
didn't
you
win.
to everyone
Were
who
you disappointed?
subscribed. I missed somebody.
I was a little disappointed. Well,
Arthur
actually, when
Morgan's
I started, when I
horse,
went to
thank
the
you.
show, I didn't think I was going to win at all. But my husband has this theory. We go to the Emmys every year, and he always loses. And he has this theory: if you're sitting in the back and you're sitting in the dark and you're in the middle of the aisle, you're not going to win because, of course, they wouldn't want you in the back in the dark, in the middle of the, in the middle of the row where you have to climb over a lot of people to win. So when we got to the Ace Awards, I was sitting in the fourth row on the aisle. So Sam saw that and he said, Jennifer, you're going to win. And I said, no, I'm not. And then a cameraman came up to me and said, excuse me, are you Jennifer Tilly? And I said, yes. And he said, I just wanted to know because I'm the one that's supposed to follow you up to the stage. You know, the cameraman that follows you up to the stage.
So
when
you
win
thought you were locked
the
already?
award. So I thought, well, I don't know. Maybe I have a chance. But then I didn't win.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But Sam was happy because when you lose, then you get to go out in the lobby and smoke a big cigar. That's what he
I guess that's some kind of consolation.
So I was going to the Emmys and he always loses and he
Thank
goes
you
in the
for
lobby and
completing the
smokes a big
pipeline.
cigar. And
Yeah.
sometimes he loses 2 or 3 times in one night because he's a writer, producer, director. He's not just...
Slash.
Yes, so lots of times he's nominated in lots of categories and he has multiple losses. But I thought because I'm sort of a personality that people would look at me sitting behind the girl who won and say, where's Jennifer Tilly? She lost, so she's in the lobby smoking a big cigar.
Yeah. Have you ever won anything?
No, I've never. This is the first time I've ever been nominated for anything. So I didn't quite know exactly how to behave. And Sam was pulling my arm after I lost and saying, come on, let's do our tradition.
Yeah.
And I said, no, this would look really, really rude. It would look like I was a poor loser. So he went out in the lobby and smoked a
Big
cigar.
cigar, yeah.
And then one of those people a big one. And then one of those people that sit in the seats next to you so it doesn't look like like those empty seats was sitting in the seat next to me, and my friends were saying the next day, "Who's that tall, handsome blonde person that was your date at the Ace Awards the other night?" When you go to award shows, so people don't look in the audience and think that the theater is half full, when you go to the bathroom or something.
Like, she's just you can see, like, that's a clip of her on a talk show. That's just kind of her vibe and her thing. You heard her mentioning her husband, Sam. This is her husband, Sam. They got married in 1984. They did not know each other a super long time before getting married. He worked in the industry as well. He was a writer and producer, all the things. Who wants to go to the lobby with me to smoke a cigar? Always. So, who is this guy? He is an American television writer and producer. While at Stratford University, he worked as a newspaper cartoonist, and after graduating, he became a storyboard at Filmation Studios. He submitted a spec strip for the sitcom Taxi, which was produced. He later became the series showrunner. Over the next few years, he wrote and produced for Cheers, The Gary Stalding Show, and other programs. He wrote on the film Super. They met on that show Shaping Up. So that sitcom that she was on, that's where they met, was on the set of that show, where he was a co-writer and a producer, and they got married the year that they met. So they were very quick to fall in love. They met at work when they were both, like, already successful. Because, like I said, she had been acting at this point for a few years. That was not her first role. That was not her first time on television. So they're at work. That's how they meet. And she continues to work as an actress while they are married. They did a lot of projects together. They did tons and tons of work together, where he would be the writer-producer and then she would be the actress. Kind of like Ron Swanson and, what's her name? In the Parks and Rec, it's Ron Swanson and Tammy, but it's Nick Offerman, and then I can never remember her name, but like they're a couple and they work together a lot. There's lots of couples that work together a lot in Hollywood. So she had more major roles throughout this time. Megan Mullany. Thank you. Thank you very much. She appeared as Gary's girlfriend in The Gary Stalding Show, which her husband worked on. She was also cast as the high-end prostitute on a comedy called Key West alongside Fisher Stevens, and she had a prominent role on Let It Ride starring Richard Dreyfuss. So here is her in Key West.
Hey, pretty guy.
And someone earlier said that this is like a palate cleanser from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. You are so right. And Arthur's Morgan's Horse, I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for completing the pipeline.
Hello, sugar baby. I'm glad you're here. Open your mouth.
Wait, what are you doing? Get out of my mouth.
Look,
What, swallow what? What is that?
sugar. This is Goldenfield, and this is Wheater.
Why the hell should I swallow that?
Everybody in town has the flu, right? Well, for the last 3 days, I've been feeding everybody in the bar Goldenfield and wheat germ, and nobody has even gotten so much as a sniffle. Don't ask questions. Savannah knows what's good for you. Open your mouth.
Get that away from me.
Jojo, open your mouth.
Give me the damn pills.
Okay.
Bad enough I had to deal with a grandmother that was a voodoo woman. Now I got to deal with this new age voodoo.
That's right, baby. Here's another one.
And don't be coming at me with none of them damn crystals either. You know that fool sheriff made me sit on one of them things for 2 hours one day? Don't even ask me why.
Crystals are good for gas. Last pill.
That's it, right?
That's it. I promise.
Old-timey TV shows. This was a comedy. This is her in Let It Ride.
Thank you very much. Trotter.
I'm pleased. I could have.
And if you didn't, I would have bought it.
Bernie is rich.
Nice to meet both of you.
Thank you. Likewise. What do you want in the fifth?
What do
You
you
can see it's like
like in
chopped
the...
together.
Bernie lost his ass already today.
Whoa. Zip it. Hey, you want to know my philosophy?
He likes space.
Get...
6 bathrooms.
Oh, I gotta
She
get
kind
even.
of
I
has
gotta get
Jennifer
even. I'm gonna
Coolidge
bet a grand
vibes. Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Me.
So you can see, like, she plays, like, sexy brunette, kind of ditzy, but not always, not typecast, but kind of typecast, but that's just kind of her vibe. And you see what I mean about her voice being a little bit playing it up, but not really all the way playing it up. This was a breakthrough role for her, was Blanche, aka Monica Moran, in The Fabulous Baker Boys. And this role was written especially for her, and this was a major, major role for her, and this is in 1989. So she got married in 1984. She's been acting since like the late 70s, and this is her big break in 1989. Actress, and then her and her husband did end up getting divorced. They were married from 1984 to 1992, but she filed in 1991. They did not cite a dramatic scandal or anything. It was just not working out. So let's kind of get into her personal life stuff, because she did get married relatively young, and I couldn't find much on her dating life before that. It seemed to be pretty private / normal. And then she got married, was married for a couple of years, and got divorced. So, like I said, they were married since 1984. Her ex is Sam Simon. They cited irreconcilable differences as the reason their marriage ended, and she filed the initial petition. Per their settlement, their divorce was not super long and not super dramatic, but they did have a fair amount of shared property that they split through. And keep in mind, like I said before, they both had careers. So it's not like one person was the only person making money or one person was completely reliant on another person. Like, they were both pretty successful. So per their settlement, she walked away with all of her jewelry, clothing, and personal items, and she was awarded her salary and the rights resulting from her acting services rendered before and after their marriage. He kept his jewelry, clothing, and personal effects. He also kept the property located in San Luis Obispo, California, and another property that they had in Santa Monica, and a third property they had in the Pacific Palisades. So he took pretty much, not took, but this was their agreed upon settlement. He got the majority of their real estate. They had multiple houses, and he got the majority of their real estate in the divorce. He also kept a portion of his pension plan and certain residuals he earned before the marriage and several bank accounts. Regarding community property, she got several of their joint bank accounts. She got half of his pension and rights to a production company and any rights to her pension. And he agreed to pay Jennifer one half of any and all residuals from his producing or writing during their marriage. So he was like, she gets half of anything I did while we were married, is basically what they've worked out. It's so nice to see a clean-cut divorce. Yeah, it's literally, I don't know if they had a prenup, but it's giving they had a prenup, because it seems like you'll take this, I'll take this. Like, they were not fighting over things for a very long time. And he just said, anything that I worked on during our marriage, you get half of the residuals. And again, he had a writing career before they were married as well. So it's not all of his work that she gets half of. They split up household furniture, and they split up their 2 cars that they had. What's important to note is that in 1989, Sam was one of the co-developers of The Simpsons. They're getting divorced in 1991, 1992. So The Simpsons is only 2 years old. So when he says, oh, you get half of anything I've done during our marriage, he knows The Simpsons is a part of that. But he has worked on tons of shows, and they're only in the first season of The Simpsons. So it's like not noteworthy at the time. Operative word being at the time. So the court found that she had an interest in Fox payments, which was essentially his royalties from The Simpsons. She was paid 25% of the income that he made from each episode or any final payments for films related to The Simpsons. He paid the taxes before she got her portion, and the deal said that if The Simpsons were ever syndicated, she would get a portion of that as well. She also got a one-time payment of $400,000 in the divorce deals, and he agreed to pay off some credit cards and home loans. The home loans make sense because he took the houses, and she agreed to pay off her Saks, Neiman, and Nordstrom and Chase and American Express credit cards. So pretty clean cut divorce. Like I said, The Simpsons, like, we didn't know. It was at the time just a small piece of the pie here. And you see, like, they were not going to fight over The Simpsons in this divorce because The Simpsons was on season 1 and these people had 3 houses. If you're not going to fight over 3 houses, you're not going to fight over royalties from a show that has 1 season. So like I said, pretty clean cut divorce, pretty amicable. And I just want to say, your mind, Jennifer, your mind. Because she said, no, you can have the houses. I don't give a fuck about a house. I want a piece of your pension, and I want a piece of this show. Huh. And like I said, they're very amicable. They remained friends. Like, they stayed friends. It seemed to be a very fair divorce. They both have their own incomes. They both had their own assets. The way that she talks about it today seems very amicable and respectful. Jennifer Tilly gets an A+ in the divorce. No, for real. Hell yeah, and then use the money to buy 3 more houses. So she is working. This is like during their marriage, because they were married from 1984 to 1991. So during and immediately after their marriage, she is a booked and bothered actress. She is booked, she is busy, and was bringing in a fair amount of income. She was in a bunch of different stuff, and this is just movies. She was also doing TV at this time, but this is just movies that she was in. And this is an interview right after she got divorced in 1993.
Appeared in many motion pictures, including one of my all-time favorite, The Fabulous Baker Brothers, and she is starring Baker Boys. She is starring in a, well, you know, strictly speaking, they were brothers. So that would have worked as the title of the film, Fabulous Baker Brothers. She is starring in a new series on Fox called Key West, which debuted tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the program,
a little bit of that.
Jennifer Tilly. Jennifer!
So beautiful.
Hi there, Jennifer. How are you?
David.
Yes, ma'am.
At the top of the show, when you said my name,
I have
you
an
should
aversion
take
to these
a little
two.
pause after my name, because nobody clapped for me. My mother's sitting at home going, "Oi, nobody knows who Jennifer is."
So I should take...
You said, "Tonight my guests are Robert Klein." Everyone went,
Yeah.
"Me, find me." Everyone went,
Yeah.
said, "And Jennifer Tilly and Paul Schaefer in the orchestra."
Yeah.
I was waiting to see, how much clapping I would get, and I didn't get any clap.
Like, she's just hamming it up.
What a manipulative audience you have here. That's easy to...
And what a dress.
Thank you.
Now let's talk a little
You
bit
know you have breast pads in your wardrobe department?
I'm sorry, we have what?
You have breast pads in your wardrobe department.
That's for sliding drills.
I love you. I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what breast... Why would
Your audience laughs, so I laugh.
I don't even know what a wardrobe department is.
She said, "I'd like my flowers now, thank you."
Jennifer,
Yes?
let's talk a little bit about...
I heard you're going to CBS because NBC makes you wear pants.
Like, she's interviewing him.
It was funny when you said it. Guess what?
Let's talk about...
My water, right?
Yeah, help yourself to a refreshing beverage. I'll just wait.
I love how
Like
she
I
keeps
have been
cutting
since you
him
came
off.
out. There you go. Oh my! Just wet your lips. We're running low.
She don't give a fuck.
I get very dry mouth when I'm on
This should be
podcast
shown
because
to
I talk so
describe
much.
unmedicated
Now-
ADHD.
I'm sorry. I almost formed a complete sentence there, and I thought.
Happens to me sometimes too.
Now, let's talk about you and your sister. Do people mistake you for your sister Meg? Who is the older of the two? Who is the younger of the two?
We never say.
Really?
We're like the Collins sisters.
The Collins sisters.
You know, Jackie Collins, Joan Collins, except for, you know, they have about 60 years on them.
Yeah.
Combined.
So she has been hamming it up for a long time. She doesn't give a fuck, never gave a fuck, is always kind of this. Like, she's always this dramatic person of a character vibe. She was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in 1994 in the Woody Allen, yikes, comedy Bullets Over Broadway, but she lost to her co-star. But here is her in Bullets Over Broadway.
What had happened?
She plays an actress in the movie. Absolute diva performance, as always. This is her at the Academy Awards in 1994. She is serving. She is that girl. This says Oscars tribute, but I think this is just like a fan edit someone put together. If you notice, a lot of these were from the same channel, Fantastic Tilly, which is like a fan account of hers on YouTube. They were very helpful in this.
In the supporting actress category for Bullets Over Broadway, Jennifer Tilly.
Personally, it's been a tremendous validation because I think there tends to be a stereotype in Hollywood that if you're a comedic actress, that mainly you just get up when the cameras start rolling and play yourself. And I think my peers in the Academy looked at my performance and could see that I was doing a performance. I think the thing about getting the nomination is I think it's sort of an acknowledgement that when I get up and I act and I play parts like Bullets Over Broadway, or, you know, that people realize that that's a performance that I'm doing.
So she was very honored to be a comedic actress and get that. And someone said voice change. That's her more natural voice. So you can see the like dramatized version versus the more natural version. I didn't realize it was her speaking after all those. One day one of us is going to be running a Miss Redacted fan page, and that day could be today. We can start that immediately. I have not given you all a shortage of footage to work with. There's plenty out there. This is her again on late night TV in the 90s.
All right, folks, please welcome Jennifer Tilly.
They realize I'm performing. Because I think a lot of people think she plays herself, but it's just she's a comedic actress that often plays similar roles.
Here?
Oh, don't do that. My God.
I think you should give me and your studio audience special kudos for showing up the day after Christmas.
Sure.
I didn't have anything better to do, but I'm sure they did.
Oh, I know they did. Nothing. I'm not looking at anything. That's a terrific dress.
Hi, I'm Victor. How are you?
Fine, how are you doing? Nice to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to see you. Did you really see the Woody Allen movie?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did see the movie.
Did you really enjoy it?
Yeah, I really did enjoy it. I like it a lot. I like Woody Allen very much. What do you mean? If I say I liked a movie, I liked a movie.
Sometimes people say they liked a movie and they didn't actually see it.
Those bastards.
Yeah, well, you know.
This is a great look.
Are you in pain right now?
No, I'm not. Why do I look like I'm in pain?
No question at all.
She looks great.
So listen, no, I really did enjoy the movie. Actually, very much. I really did enjoy it.
I assume this is my water. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, that's nice. It's a nice,
I feel like this happens to so many female actors for playing the same kind of role. It's not as extreme with male actors. Exactly, when they play the same kind of role
I like
too.
this movie very much. Did you enjoy being in the movie?
Conan,
Yeah?
if I thought I was going to come on this show and you were going to resort to cheap Wonder Bra jokes, I wouldn't even be here. I'm here as a serious artist.
You're right.
I was hoping that perhaps throughout the show you could sprinkle the phrase Oscar talk. But no, all you do is gawk at my breasts and ask me if I'm in pain.
I love her. Like, she has been funny forever.
Jennifer, let's get something straight right now. There is no such thing as a cheap Wonder Bra joke. They're all classy in my field.
Well,
no, but listen, there is
I'm
talk.
glad I'm here to hear that. Words of wisdom from Conan O'Brien.
Thank you very much.
Number one rule of comedy, no such thing as a cheap Wonder Bra joke.
That's true. That's
What's
actually
the number two rule of comedy.
The number 2 rule of comedy is that
bet
fat, naked people are funny.
Like, she makes the interview good.
I'm not sure I got that idea.
There's always an exception to every rule.
Always an exception. I really...
So, Is she allowed to say he's not funny? Here are some of her red carpet looks throughout the 90s. She has always been a fashionista. She's carrying this. She's carrying every single interview she's ever done. She's currently today carrying the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which we are on our way to, but we're still in the 90s right now. So many good looks. We're gonna have many iconic red carpet looks throughout this. In 1994, she also had a small role in The Getaway with Alec Baldwin. She also starred in Bound, directed by the Wachowskis, which portrays a lesbian relationship with her character has with alluring ex-con Corky, played by Gina Gershon. She played Samantha Cole in the Jim Carrey comedy Liar Liar. In Dancing at the Blue Iguana, she played a stripper and part-time dominatrix. And she portrayed a gossip columnist, Loyola Parsons, in the historical drama The Cat's Meow. So she has been in so much stuff. Here is her in Dancing at the Blue Iguana in 2000. I know this is kind of a deep cut, and you're like, what the fuck is Dancing at the Blue Iguana? I saw this, and I was like, Dancing at the Blue Iguana? Oh, baby, I know Dancing at the Blue Iguana. Jennifer Tilly was in Dancing at the Blue Iguana? So here's a clip of her in that movie. This is in Do I Know Dancing at the Blue Iguana? I met one of her co-stars a few times because I was like, why do I know that movie? So Sheila Kelly is who I have met. I don't know her on a personal basis. She would not remember who I was. I just said hi to her after a class she did one time. They are both, Sheila Kelly and Jennifer Tilly are actresses who are both in the independent erotic drama Dancing at the Blue Iguana, which was directed by Michael Radford. Sheila Kelly is an actress, and she is also the founder of S Factor. S Factor is like a pole fitness thing, and S Factor is kind of like the OG pole fitness. It was founded in 2001, and it comprises striptease, pole, yoga, and Pilates to help women connect with their bodies, build confidence, and explore feminine energy. I took a few S Factor classes because Sheila Kelly is involved in the same women's group that I was in, so she did like a mini S Factor class at the women's group, and she was telling us how she started this because they took a stripping class from actual strippers and worked with a bunch of strippers who were consultants on Dancing at the Blue Iguana. So the actual strippers like taught them how to whatever, be strippers for the movie. And this is Sheila Kelly.
I was acting in a film called Dancing at the Blue Iguana in 1999. And it was a film based on exotic dancers. And so I needed to go into the clubs and learn how to do the movement for the film. And when I was learning it, it was a fascinating thing because I just thought the movement was so unbelievably beautiful. And I couldn't believe it was trapped in this kind of dark place in the world, and that it had such taboo and such, bad feelings about it because it was so beautiful. But I got to learn how to do the movement, and I was blown away by what happened to my body. All of a sudden, it felt as if I was moving my body for the first time. Fully.
She does kind of look like Courtney Cox.
I was moving my body to the full potential that my body could move. And I'd never done that before. And so
yeah, S Factor is super cool. Big fan of them. They're not as much around as they used to be. But I just thought that was a crazy connection. I felt like you guys would be interested in it. When I had no idea that Jennifer Tilly was in this movie. And like we saw, she was in a ton of other stuff too, like Liar Liar, Bound, like so many big movies throughout the late 90s and early 2000s. Here is her in The Cat's Meow. That's her on the right, and then her in this picture right here. And then this is her, this iconic picture. Like this, literally, if you Google body T, this is the picture that comes up. Like, are you joking? She looks amazing. Amazing. She was at the first annual Blockbuster Entertainment Awards. This is in Hollywood. This is in, I believe, the early 2000s. Here's some other red carpet looks of her in the 90s. She has done long hair. She's done short hair. She's done blonde. She's done pixie. She's done highlights. Here's some more pictures of her kind of throughout this time. Her with Jay Leno. Iconic. I think this is on the set of the Blue Iguana with the tattoos because I haven't seen the tattoos of her in other pictures other than that movie. Literally just an absolute bombshell. Like so stunning, so gorgeous. And her ex were very close friends throughout this time. So they get divorced in the early 90s. They remain close friends. And she said they became closer after they got divorced. Because she was like, the trap of husband and wife was preventing us from being friends. And this is from 2004. I just want to say, I do not like Howard Stern. I do not know much about him, but I have not liked what I have seen. She was on the Howard Stern show, and Howard Stern tries to, like, embarrass her by getting her ex-husband on the show and being like, oh, we're going to talk about how she took all your money. But it totally, like, didn't work at all because her and her ex-husband have such a fun banter between them. And you can tell they genuinely get along and they're friends. Oh, please work. Did this not work? The sound didn't come through. Okay. I'm going to open it in a new tab and I'll just play it because it's only audio anyway. Audio. It'll be in my history. Howard Stern. Ex-husband. Okay.
Going on? Or Sam Simon, now I know what happened. I have a headache. I actually have a headache from this interview. Going on? Or Sam Simon, now I know what happened. She couldn't take it.
Okay, I was on Johnny Carson once.
Sam, now I know why you got a divorce. He's listening. Sam, you there?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Now I know why you got a divorce. I'm getting a headache.
You know, Howard, thanks to the FCC, you have like a half-hour delay now. And I heard like the tail end that Jennifer had a gay boyfriend?
Yeah, for a couple of months.
Oh, man, I'm glad I'm up late. That's fantastic.
By the way, Sam Simon is the man who was married to Jennifer. Jennifer got a lot of his money. She even has a black Amex card.
Yes, but I'm the one that told Sam all the stories around here are tweaked to make them more interesting. I heard you telling that black Amex card story, and it's so not true. This is the story you told.
How much money did you have to give your ex-wife, Sam?
Well, you know, it's still coming in. That's the problem. There's no end to it. We broke up after the first 13 episodes of The Simpsons, the series.
So they broke up after the first 13 episodes of The Simpsons. So like I said, in their divorce, it was not a big deal or like a big asset at all.
Not to do. She thought it was... By the way, have you ever seen it, honey?
The Simpsons?
Yeah. It's very cute.
No.
Check it out.
She makes a lot of money from that.
If you get paid a lot of money from The Simpsons, you should watch it. I love that she's never seen it.
I'm not into cartoons.
I love it. How much money would you say Jennifer's made off The Simpsons?
Oh, my God.
He's asking again.
I don't know, but, you know, actually...
Is it over $20 million?
Easily.
Oh, please! I'm getting an auditor.
You know what? It's more than the guy who does the voice of Homer.
Yeah, but he didn't have to have sex with Sam.
Sam, in other words... that's true.
That's not what I heard.
That's good.
No.
Sam, let me understand something. You were married to Jennifer.
It just keeps going up, and about a month ago, Jennifer called. You know, we speak all the time.
I was crying. I was
very emotional.
I was like,
and she said, you know, Sam, you know, The Simpsons, it's just such an amazing thing. It changed my life, and, you know, all this money. But there's something that's really bothering me.
Oh, dear.
And I thought she was going to give me the points back. I could tell there was like a little quiver in her voice. And so I said, well, you know, I said, go on. And she said, I've never said thank you. And I said, I thought you were going to give me the points back. And she said, no, I wouldn't do that.
How many points did you have to give up, Sam?
He keeps asking these financial questions, like what was the dollar amount, how many points? And he clearly thought that he was going to get her ex-husband on and like embarrass her and air out all their finances because he was like, oh, he's probably mad, so he wants to say. And her ex-husband is clearly just making jokes about it, being like, yep, she still gets it. Oh, it's tons of money. It's still going up. Like, you can tell her ex-husband is like not being like, the ex-husband is like, yeah, I'm not going to talk shit about my ex-wife on your radio show. Like, we can joke about how she has all this money because of me, but like, when you give the context of the show was not a big deal when they broke up and they were friends throughout the entire thing, it makes like sense to me that her ex-husband's not like crazy resentful of this. And like, especially with that amount of money, like, they're both rich. Who cares? Like, they're friends. They're both benefiting from the show.
What?
How many points did you have to give up?
Howard, you've been divorced. You know what the laws are. You know how it works.
50%?
What?
So how many points did Sam hit?
A lot.
Okay, but I have to say, I championed Sam through the hard
Sam says you told him not to do the show.
Well, yes, I did. I was like, honey, you're so talented. Why don't you put your talent into something that's going to be successful? I wanted to talk about it.
For years, I used to tell people, well, you know, it was Jennifer's idea to put it with the nuclear power plant, and I would make up these things.
So let me understand something, Sam, because I'm a big proponent of not getting married.
Right.
You sat there, you developed The Simpsons, you guys got divorced after a year, and
After 13 episodes, they're on like 380.
And now for the rest of your life, you and Jennifer will be equally wealthy from The Simpsons.
Not equally. There's not parity.
There isn't?
But every time Sam gets every time Sam gets a big chunk, I get a tiny chunk. I still have to do bad movies for money.
Right.
Yes.
You get out of the
I was in that movie with you,
Just to get out of the house. You don't have to work again, Jennifer, do you?
That's the only way I can meet guys is on location.
Jennifer, you don't have to work again.
I don't have to if I drastically cut down my style, my lifestyle.
You know, she bought her house with cash. Well, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I go, where is it? She goes, you know Don Simpson? You know who Don Simpson is?
Yeah.
Was?
Yeah.
Across the street from him.
Wow.
Well, down the road a bit.
Down the road a little bit.
Yeah.
So you can tell they have like a good banter and vibe between them. This is 10 years after they've gotten divorced. They've been divorced for longer than they were married at this point. I would expect nothing less from the Simpsons creator. He actually loved her and was clearly not bitter, unlike Howard Stern. So in 1998, so before that clip, but post-divorce, tons of 90s success, been divorced for a long time at this point. She gets the role of Tiffany Valentine in the Chucky series. So it is the Bride of Chucky, 1998. Huge role for her. Kind of like that one 10 years prior. Big role for her. She looks amazing in these. Like, actually looks stunning. I have not seen these movies. I'm not super into this, but oh my god, no, tell your fiance to fuck off. No one will be mad at you for being late. Like, literally, he needs to relax, and I don't like that he's talking to you that way. But anyway, like, she looks so iconic in these. This is probably what she is most known for. She has done a bunch of these movies. She was my gay awakening. I can totally see that. This is her and the one from 1998, Bride of Chucky.
Look, Chucky, I made Swedish meatballs. Your favorite.
Honey, you shouldn't have.
Well, I wanted everything tonight to be absolutely perfect.
Tiff, what the hell is that?
It's a playpen, silly, for the nursery. You know, Chucky, I still have the ring.
What ring?
The ring, the one you left for me. I found it on the mantle the night you were killed. I've never taken it off.
Oh, that, the one I got from Vivian Van Pelt.
Vivian who?
Vivian Van Pelt. I dumped her in the river. Remember, that ring is worth $5 or $6 grand easy.
You mean you weren't gonna ask me to marry you?
What are you, fucking nuts?
You thought?
She has range.
You haven't changed. You'll never change.
This is the most I've ever watched the Chucky movie and probably ever
The first
will.
thing
I
you gotta
agree.
do is get me out of this body once and for all.
No. I think I prefer you like this. You're kind of cute. You're just like a little baby. Is the little baby ticklish?
Live footage of my boyfriend when I was 19. No, for real. That's why it's a horror movie.
Mommy's tired. Time to go to sleep.
Hey, I get it. You're still hung up.
So, very iconic role. This is her in Seed of Chucky 2004.
Yeah, I'm looking for Jennifer. Does anyone have a 20 on Jennifer?
They're joking about her being fat in this movie, which I don't like.
It's getting quick. Oh.
We're ready if you want some.
Jennifer, I am so proud of you. For what?
For sticking to your diet.
Oh, thank you. What's going on in the world today?
Julia Roberts is getting 25 mil for her next film.
Julia Roberts. I'm so tired of hearing about Julia Roberts. You know, I should have played Aaron Brockovich. I could have done it without the Wonder Bra. Julia stole that part right out from under me. You know how she did it?
The Wonder Bra.
She slept with the director, that's what I think.
No, that's not true.
How come I don't ever get any of the good roles anymore? How come nobody takes me seriously?
Nice tits.
Thank you. I mean, look at me. I'm an Oscar nominee, for Christ's sake. Now I'm fucking a puppet. Got no fan mail, no paparazzi, no stalkers. Well, there must be something I'm right for.
Let's see. Hip-hop superstar turned director Redman is still looking for the right actress to take the female lead in his upcoming Bible epic.
Oh, that sounds good. What's the role?
Virgin Mary.
What's so funny?
Nothing.
It's perfect. It's just what I need to reinvent myself. The Virgin Mary. I always loved the way she wore robes and her hair off her face, kind of like this. Joe, get Morty on the phone and tell him I need to take a meeting with this red man right away. Okay.
So they called her fat in this movie, and it was like a joke, but she said that she actually encouraged this because she was trying to make self-deprecating jokes about how she's always trying and failing to diet and her perceived lack of willpower because of the body pressures at the time. So, like we have all agreed, she is a total smoke show and is so fucking hot, but she is she's curvier. Like, that's what makes her hot, is she's a curvy woman. And when you think about especially like the 90s and 2000s, very, very like thin body pressure, size 0 obsessed, she was kind of like a different look than what was being sought after a lot. Even though we obviously see she's like has a super slender hourglass figure. So I wanted to kind of talk about that. This movie is kind of on ahead of its time with a trans storyline and a killer doll. I actually haven't seen any of these movies. Here's her again in the seat of Chucky.
Did you hear that?
Maybe you should forget the director and fuck the exterminator instead.
So, how do I look? Never mind.
Jennifer, it's beneath you. Think about what you're doing. What are people gonna say?
Who cares what people say?
But don't you see how evil this is?
I don't want to hear it.
She ages
Prostitute
backwards.
yourself so you can play the Virgin Mary.
Joe, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, this is so evil. You're going to hell.
No, hell would be ending up on Celebrity Fear Factor in a worm-eating contest with Anna Nicole Smith.
Which you'd win. He's here.
Let yourself out the back. And while you're at it, why don't you leave your key on the counter?
What are you saying?
Well, you think I'm so disgusting. You think I'm going to hell. I'm only trying to survive here, Joan. God knows I wouldn't want to drag you down with me. I'm saying you're fired.
So, iconic performance as always. In 2001, she was also in the Broadway revival of The Women, and she did a nude scene in the Broadway show.
He goes, are you really going to be naked? Because I stand up in the bathtub. We were doing the women. And why do you do the women in the 20th century unless you actually stand up naked in the bathtub? Joan Crawford couldn't do it. I could do it. I just wanted to shock and terrify Broadway theater goers everywhere. So anyway, he said to me, are you really going to be naked? And I said very flippantly, I said, oh no, don't be silly. I said, I'm going to be covered with soap suds. And so then I went back. So he came backstage. His face was white. He goes, Jennifer, when you stood up, all the soap suds slid off. Everybody could see everything.
I meant to put the longer clip in there. She talks about how she grew like her bush out for the play, because in the play, like, she said she was getting like Brazilian waxes, and then she was like, no, it's the women, they would have bush, so I have to grow bush. And then like everyone saw her full bush when the soap suds came off her on stage, which I think is so fucking funny. I think it might be later on in this, because obviously that's a more modern clip of her. And she did post a throwback about it. This is a picture of her, like, OG selfie backstage in 2001 on Broadway. So she has done lots of different types of acting. And I am doing my own slides permanently now. I did not like the hiatus where I was busy and couldn't do them myself. I'm glad that I didn't stop streaming during that time, but doing them, it's just so much better this way. You know what I mean? Big Jennifer Tilly fan, I've learned. I knew you guys would be very into her. And I also just want to say, I loved putting this together because she likes telling stories and she likes sharing photos. So it was really easy to find fun stuff about her because, like, she's posted tons of photos. She gives a great interview. She's a good storyteller. Like, that was really cool to have all this stuff available about her. And she is still working a ton in the 90s and early 2000s. So this is, again, just film. This is not even TV. I'll show you the TV list later. But so many things that she's been in. And a Jennifer Tilly marathon would honestly be incredible. Someone do a Jennifer Tilly drag show. Please, 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 please. Someone do a Jennifer Tilly drag show, please. It would be so good. Do you realize how many options there are? Oh my God, someone do it, please. And she was like a voice in Stuart Little. She's done a ton of different things and a huge amount of range. She also starred as Crystal Allen in The Women, like we said, with the Soap Suds situation. In 2002, she played Fanny Minafer in the made-for-TV remake of The Magnificent Ambersons. She is the semi-regular cast member on Family Guy, voicing the neighbor Bonnie. She also has done voiceover work in Monsters, Inc., Stuart Little, Home on the Range, and in Hey Arnold, which I saw someone bring up earlier. She was in The Haunted Mansion, portraying Madame Leota, head in a crystal ball. She's also been active in theater, winning a Theater World Award in an off-Broadway play, and she had a starring role in the sitcom Out of Practice. That series was canceled in 2006, and around that time is when she started playing professional poker. Texting Jennifer Tilly themed drag show send. So, like, imagine if I was president of the United States, that would actually happen. Like, I would be able to use national arts funding to do a Jennifer Tilly themed drag show, and that would be so much of a better use of our tax dollars than bombing children. You know what I'm saying? So around this time in the early 2000s, she also got a boyfriend. I presume she had dated in the 10 years since her and her ex-husband split up. But this was for a public, serious relationship with Phil Lake. I don't really know how to say his name. Here's them around the time that they met in the early 2000s. I'm obsessed with them. Like, the body language, you can just tell they're absolutely obsessed with each other. She looks amazing in both these photos, but her hair in the one on the right is crushing. I'm very obsessed with them. They met through poker. So she met him, and through him, she started playing professional poker. He is Irish born. He is one of the most popular poker players in the UK. He also covers poker and online gambling, and there are few people in the world that have his status level. So she's not just dating a poker player, she is dating the poker player. And like I said, the body language between them, like, they have so much chemistry, it is literally palpable. He is important. He's nicknamed the Unabomber because he wears sunglasses and a hoodie when he plays. And he is an interesting player to watch. He's very... sorry, I have the hiccups. Maybe it's from the wine. He is very eccentric and very unique. And as tournament goes a win, his biggest win was the PartyPoker.com World Open, where he won $250,000. Beating fellow poker player Luke Schwartz and his long-term romantic partner Jennifer Tilly at the final table. And his total career winnings exceed $3.6 million. He holds a World Series poker bracelet, a World Poker Tour title with 4 final tables, and he has the world record for longest live poker session with a profit. He played for 115 consecutive hours, beating the previous record by more than 40 hours. So like I said, he's not just a poker player, he is the poker player. BRB, becoming an ecologist who's also a pop star, because why not? Jennifer said, why not? No, for real. He's pretty entertaining during games. I'm glad some people here know who he is. The way he looks at her like he's just her escort. You guys kill me. So they met in 2004 at the World Poker Tour Invitational. This was in Los Angeles, and he was at the top of his game. He was like the #1 guy, and Jennifer was just getting into professional poker. So she was very new on the scene and learning the ropes, and she put her acting career in the back seat and started being really, really into poker. So when they met in 2004, she was the first to move, or she made the first move. She described their first meeting. She said she went to him and asked him to help her improve her game. They started seeing each other shortly after the tour, and they have been together ever since. So now they have been together for over 20 years, and she made the first move at this poker tournament where she was new, and he was like the #1 professional, and she said, I want you to teach me. And he said, okay. So she burst onto the poker scene in 2005, really. So she was at this tournament in 2004, kind of learning. And then in 2005, she was in, baby. She bested a field of 601 players at the ladies event and won her first gold bracelet. She knew how to play poker because her dad was into gambling. And she's also in like a video game about poker. And then her boyfriend taught her a lot as well because he is a professional. 2005, she won the bracelet. She won $158,000 in the ladies' No Limit Hold'em event. Like, imagine you've been in these tournaments for years and you're like, is that Jennifer Tilly? And then she just beats the shit out of you. She just wins because she's good at everything. And, like, she looks phenomenal doing it. She looks phenomenal doing it. I think I could get into gambling if I had a steady stream of income from The Simpsons coming in. And she has said that. She has said, like, listen, this is not a poor person hobby. She said it nicer than that, but these are sick photos. This one of her on the left, that her first big win where she got the bracelet, like the bracelet is the prize. She's an icon and she still plays professionally to this day. And like we said, she won that big bracelet in 2005. And then she followed up this accomplishment in September by winning the third World Poker Tour Ladies Invitational Tournament in the suburbs of LA. She appeared in the GSN Poker Royale series. She played in a Celebrity Poker Showdown on Bravo, and she came in third place after being beaten by Bravo's Online Poker Championship. She also participated in the Poker After Dark show. While playing poker on television, she often wears low-cut tops with push-up bras that expose considerable cleavage in order to look cute. But she said, if people are really playing poker, they don't care. Nothing looks better to them than a pair of aces. They're not looking at your pair, they're looking at their pair. And she appears in that video game with her boyfriend. I know, I picked such an icon because I just knew she was an icon. I didn't know that much detail about her, but I knew she was an icon. So in 2005, she said she was more interested in poker than she was in acting. But then by 2008, she was like, yeah, I'm kind of over the poker now. She said, I love poker, but greatness in poker is an elusive dream. There are too many variants. Trying to find validation in poker is like trying to find a virgin in a whorehouse. I'm not giving up poker entirely. Gambling is an addiction after all. I'm just going to treat it more like a hobby and less like a career. So she still plays professionally, but it's no longer her career in her eyes. And then in 2010, she went back to playing professional poker, and she was nominated for the Poker Listing Spirit of Poker Living Legend Award in 2014. And as of 2019, her live tournament winnings exceed $1 million. So she still does the tournaments and still plays professionally and is doing her damn thing. She's doing her boyfriend's look with the sunglasses.
When did you really click with poker?
Well, when I met my boyfriend, Phil Luck, the Unabomber is what they call him, and he's a professional poker player, and I sort of became very involved in poker then, but apparently...
Did he teach you, or did you
He taught me, but now I won't let him teach me because he gets very upset the way I play, and I swat him away. I'm like, you play your way, I'll play my way. You know.
What's the most you've ever won?
Well, in one hand, I think I won $360,000 in one hand.
What's the most you've ever lost?
Oh, I don't even want to say. More than that.
Really?
Yes. Poker, okay, you guys, poker is not a career. It's an addiction. Let me get that straight right now. And to you, all the kiddies at home, poker is not a good way of earning a living.
I think she handles this very well. She is a rich woman who likes to play poker and acknowledges that she has lost more than she's won, and she don't give a fuck, but she's still a professional player. Imagine only hearing they call him the Unabomber part of that statement. So she has been a staple in the tournament circuit. She has won a bunch of different things, over $1 million. She said, I actually think I'm a very good player. I've got a lot of cashes, almost $1 million in tournament earnings, and I'm like number 30 on the women's all-time money list. I feel like I'm a good player. If I have something to prove, it's only to myself. I've got a lot of deep runs and open events, and I think a lot of people don't know me or don't know my game, and it's easy to make assumptions. And here's kind of a list of her different awards and some of her big things. She was inducted into the Women in Poker Hall of Fame in 2022. She tried to warn us about DraftKings. Here's some more pictures of her on her poker thing, the Women Poker Hall of Fame. Like, wearing that outfit to the Women in Poker Hall of Fame event is killing me. And I love the sunglasses. Like, she kind of reminds me of... Oh, what's her name? I can never remember anyone's name. She's on Abbott Elementary. She played Chessie in The Parent Trap. She kind of looks like her in that picture. But Jennifer Tilly is stunning. So in 2008, like I said, she kind of started doing more acting again. And she was in the Chinese film debut of a Christina Yao Empire of Silver. She played Miss Landeck. And then in 2012, she went back to Broadway in Don't Dress for Dinner, winning an Audience Choice Award for her portrayal of the Mistress Suzanne. In 2013, she starred in the Wallace Shawn Andre Gregory collaboration, Grasses of a Thousand Colors. She moved on to the Joseph Papp Theater in 2013, and she regularly appeared in the Comedy Rube Celebrity Autobiography. So she has done a ton of different stuff. Lisa Ann Walter, thank you. She's done a ton of different stuff, TV, film, theater, Broadway, like all of the things. And she has done a fair amount of cartoon work. So this is a bunch of her different cartoon and movie work from the 2000s. A lot of it is like very much of what I think is our generation. She has an EGOT in my mind.
Woogly woogly, you remembered! Hey, Sully Wully.
Hi.
Thanks. So, are we going anywhere special tonight? Harryhausen's, but it's impossible to get a reservation there. Whom do you seek?
I am seeking a way out of here.
Then you must look within.
I don't want to look within. I want to look without. Are you deaf?
There is great evil in this house. A devil's curse. It seeks to destroy you. It's simple. Cart smack, rope roll, justice. Come on, Jack, focus. Now is not the time to get all scatterbrained and flaky.
Boys? Yes? Leave me. Okay.
Like, find me an actress with this much range.
Oh, schmoopsy boo.
Googly bear. Oh, thank goodness you're here. Honey, I need you to go
Isn't
to...
this great? The factory's still open. Nobody's out of work. No angry
And you can
mom.
tell
I
she
know
just
the best
likes
part.
it. She does not need to work. She has plenty of money. But you can tell she likes acting. She likes performing. She likes comedy. She likes making people laugh. And then she was in Curse of Chucky in 2013. She's done a lot of the Chucky stuff. Celia May is an icon. I can't believe she dated Mike Wazowski.
3-day, 2-day, or overnight?
Overnight is extremely urgent.
Fragile?
Surprisingly not.
Approximate value?
Well, my mother always used to say, you can't put a price on love.
Under $250 then. Would you like to insure the package?
That won't be necessary.
It protects you and it protects the recipient.
I doubt that.
Perishable goods? Live animal?
Just put other.
I do need to watch these. I'm normally not that into stuff like this. This is Cult of Chucky 2017. The blonde on her crushes. I do like the dark hair better, I think, but she looks good as a blonde too.
Hey, sweet face. Good to see you back on your feet.
You look great, Tiff.
range in acting and in hair color and in sexuality. Like, to play a raging stripper, be in Monsters, Inc., Home on the Range, Bride of Chucky.
So this is different.
All these 90s and 80s sitcoms.
Works for me.
Playing a lesbian. Like, she does it all. She can do it all. You know what I'm saying? And Face Card is never declining. So she plays a dual role, providing the voice for Tiffany and also playing an exaggerated version of herself. She has been nominated for various awards, and she reprises the role in every subsequent appearance. And her ex-husband are still BFFs. He did pass away in 2015. And they were very close friends until he died. And when he had cancer, she helped care for him during that time. And here's a little bit about that.
Is my ex-wife, Jennifer Tilly. We've been divorced now twice as long as we were married. I think she just turned down another show because she wanted to be around and help me.
Rest in peace. Very sad. But they have a really beautiful friendship with that, which I really admire. True best friends. So she talks some about him. We'll watch some more clips of her talking about them. They were so good at being divorced. I'm happy they benefited from it. So this is a clip of her. It's gonna give me a second because sometimes the Bravo website is funny, as you can see. I said to start it around a minute and 30.
Like, well, never got to hear it.
Right.
There's something about the words that you want to hear.
She's just not warm and fuzzy.
She's not warm and
She's
fuzzy.
not warm and
Yes.
fuzzy.
So, now, I do not remember, and my memory isn't what it used to be. I do not remember my ex-husband ever saying it to me, and I knew that he loved me.
Right.
But I don't remember him ever saying it until he was sick in the last 2 years of his life, and I was taking care of him, and then he said it all the time to me.
Aww.
It was really nice, but I'm sure he must have said it when we were married, but I don't remember it.
You took care of him despite being divorced in the last few months of his life.
We were very close after we got divorced. He was like probably my best friend for 30 years. But it seemed weird, like once I wasn't saddled with being a wife and all the expectations that came along with being a wife, then it seemed like it liberated us to be really close.
Isn't that beautiful? Once I wasn't saddled with all of the expectations of being a wife, it liberated us to be really close, which I think is like such a beautiful sentiment. Such a good model of divorcing because you're not romantic partners. They seem like more creative partners and comedic partners and life partners and friend partners than romantic partners.
Because we were there because we wanted to be there.
I'm still waiting on that phenomenon to happen between me and Christian.
I don't like Sutton very much. It's hard to focus, the yiddies. And she has remained consistent, like yiddies to the neck the entire time, which I really admire. And so following their divorce, she had to file a bunch of court documents so that she would be continued to be paid out from The Simpsons because they had a very unofficial arrangement. He would just pay her out of his income every month. So because it was not like duked out in court and they just came to this agreement together, they didn't like have to submit documentation of it. So he would basically just like, I guess, a direct deposit her every month depending on how much he made. And based on their agreement, her lawyer said, because of Sam's death, it's no longer practical for Jennifer Sam and his company to follow the procedure that they had been following since 1993. Jennifer, Sam's estate, Sam's trust, and Sam's company have negotiated a different procedure where she is paid out directly on the Fox payment rather than going through him. That makes me like him even more because he could have just not done that. No, exactly. That's why the Howard Stern clip pissed me off so much because I'm like, Howard Stern thought he was gonna gotcha to Jennifer Tilly and be like, I have your ex-husband here to talk shit. Whole time, her ex-husband's doing it voluntarily. Like, he's not being forced by a court or a judge to uphold this agreement. He's just doing it Because that's what they agreed to do. Like, it just seems like... And I was telling Mr. Redacted about this, and he was like, yeah, that's what you should do. Like, it's like, they agreed to it. They're both rich. Like, just pay the agreement. I was afraid they were going to not pay her after he died. No, she's still getting paid for it. Because it was in the agreement of their divorce. But I'm just saying, she never had to, like, enforce the agreement, which I think is telling on their relationship. That it was just kind of like on the honor system that he just sent it every month, and that it was correct. Like, the bar is literally in hell for men, correct. So now she is going to have to pay taxes on it. So she is going to have to pay taxes. Before this, he was paying all the taxes and then just paying her directly. Now she is going to have to pay taxes, which I can't say I feel bad for her about, and I cannot say that she would probably complain about either. Jennifer explained that during Sam's lifetime, that was the procedure that followed. He would get 100% through his company. He paid all the taxes and gave me a net after-tax payment equal to my percentage. Blah, 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 blah. I did not pay taxes on the amount that he gave me, so now she is going to pay taxes. And she said that he did all the paperwork before he died to ensure that she was taken care of after he passed. And the actress said Sam knew the way that she was being paid, the way that he was just doing it could not continue, so he set this up before he died. My understanding is, knowing this, Sam made changes in anticipation of his death. He executed a beneficiary designation directing that I receive the same percentage as the net proceeds that I've been receiving during his lifetime. He executed another beneficiary designating that directing that Sam Simon Charitable Giving Foundation receive the remainder, and it was resolved very quickly. So again, like, they had a very positive relationship, it appears. I really admire them and this. I think it's very nice. And like I was saying before, this seems very healthy and fair. Neither of them knew The Simpsons was going to become this huge, successful, like, multi-million-dollar enterprise. They just upheld the agreement that they came to in the 1990s. It seems like they were creative partners and friends. So it seems like he had no issue at all with including her in his will and taking care of her as his wife. Because, like, even if you get divorced, that's still your wife, and I still believe that you, like, hold an allegiance to her.
What about you, Tilly?
This is her talking about her ex-husband who has passed, and in this clip he had already passed.
What about you, Tilly?
I'm in love with my man, yes.
Oh.
And her current boyfriend.
Is he your first?
My first man?
No, your first.
Real virgin when you met her.
My first man?
No, I was in love with my husband too. My first husband, my only husband.
I feel like Sam was so instrumental in my life in so many ways. I feel like his energy is still with me every day, honestly, every day. I'm like, thank you, Sam. You know, when I get to use the valet parking instead of driving down the street looking for some free parking, or, you know, when I buy a Gucci outfit, I'm like, because Sam gave me a very good divorce settlement.
Like, it seems like they were both super grateful for each other. She is booked and busy throughout the 2000s. So again, he passed in 2015. The entire time, she is working. And again, she is making insane amounts of money off of the Simpsons royalties. So she does not have to be working, but she is. And again, these are just film, still just film. Like, so much stuff. She's played herself in a fair number of things. Tiffany Valentine is a big role of hers. And then here's all of her TV. This is all of her TV on one place. She was a guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race. She was in Modern Family. She was in CSI. She was in The Cleveland Show. She's been in Family Guy. Some of those shows that we already talked about from the 80s. She has been in so many things. And like I said, booked, bothered, and busy. My girl is working. And then here is her on the television series Chucky. Such an iconic actress. And she talks about her sexy persona, like I said, the voice. She said, it says, Jennifer has started to embody many personas over the year, from the murderous Tiffany and Chucky to the talentless Olive Neal and Bullets Over Broadway. But early on, Jennifer adopted a sex pot persona. We were all obsessed with Marilyn Monroe back then, she told Vulture in August 2024 of her breathy voice. Because remember, she started back in like the 70s, 80s. I did start out doing the Marilyn Monroe thing and talking in a little voice, kind of spacey, kind of innocent. Because of that, I would say the biggest misconception perpetrated by me is that I was not very bright. But I am razor sharp smart. I try not to do self-deprecating humor anymore. I don't think it's super appealing when you get older, but she does fully embrace this as Tiffany. I love playing Tiffany because she's a campy character. She gets to kill people and look sexy while doing it. And I wasn't sure where to put this, but she said that she never wanted to have children, and she has not had children. That earlier clip, you already watched some of that. Here's her talking about not having kids.
What are the chances that what are the chances that the three of us have
weirdness?
Yeah, well,
not weirdness. We're
not
normal.
weirdness,
Forget,
but just
remember?
just the parental stuff,
Yes.
right? I never asked you. Did you ever want to be a mom?
Never. Because you know what?
She was like this. Never, girl.
No, honestly, I never.
Never.
You know what?
She's a baddie who loves designer and gambling.
Not a very good childhood. And, you know, everyone's like, oh, I'll be the perfect mom. I won't make the same mistakes my mother did. But I had a feeling that I would. So I felt like, well, got to break the chain. Yes.
I've never heard anybody say that. You're amazing.
Well, I don't know.
That you can actually say, I don't know if I would have been better.
No, I don't think so. I mean, hopefully I would be better. But, I never really wanted children. And now my sister had a bunch, so I have nieces and nephews. And, you know, so that's really nice.
James.
Yeah.
And you can mother in so many other ways.
I really like that. I like that she's just like, yeah, not for me. She hasn't talked about it a ton. It seems like she was never particularly interested in having children, which I admire people that can make a decision and stand firm in their decision. So she has, like I said, had an insanely dynamic career and successful career. And then in 2024, she joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as a friend of the cast, and she steals the fucking show. This is like the last thing that we're going to talk about, and we'll talk about it for a little bit. We're kind of close to done, but not yet. I love her in Beverly Hills. I knew that she was a famous actress. I knew that she had been in tons of stuff, but this was my first like real exposure to the icon that she is, and I'm excited for you all to see this. This is the New York Times article that we read a fair amount of at different points of this. You probably already love this Real Housewife. She has been electrocuted, hatcheted, and murdered by a doll with her soul trapped inside it. She's also notched up an epic kill count of her own, decapitating one victim with a nail file, eviscerating another, and melting one's unfortunate face off with boiling water. And that was before she joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. At least in the Chucky movies, you get stabbed in the front, Jennifer says coolly, shooting a knowing look to the reporter. We are in a booth at the Margot restaurant in Marlton Hotel in Greenwich Village. It's mid-afternoon and we're the only customers in the place. Miss Tilly is wearing a simple black mini dress with a flounced neckline cut low. The décolletage is her wardrobe default, like having this area out. Picking out a mesclun salad, Miss Tilly appears young enough to be a forced double take. At 66, she has spent 4 decades in the public eye. And this is the exact vibe that I want to give. This is why she's my role model. Jennifer can almost seem like a caricature of herself with the boobs and her voice and all the jewelry, says Sutton Strack, and who's on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and very close friends with Jennifer Tilly. But behind all of that is a wildly brilliant intelligence that can sometimes overwhelm you and sometimes sneak right by. And that's everything I want to give. Is like, you look like a character, you act like a joke, but you're actually a genius. Like, that is everything. To curate that perception of yourself, incredible. This is a picture of her in her house in Bel Air in Los Angeles, wearing a designer dress that has her face on it, which you will get to see in more detail later. And she makes me excited to age. If this is what 66 is giving, sign me the fuck up. Like, sign me the fuck up. If that's what 66 is giving, that's what it needs to be giving. Miss Tilly joined the Bravo series in its current season. She had been popping up on the show as a friend, said Andy Cohen, the host and executive producer, and he liked what he saw. When she enters a scene, you want to watch, and she didn't want to do it for years. Sutton said, I'd been begging her to do this. They've wanted her for years. And the reason for her reluctance, Miss Tilly explained, was simple. She was already a real actress. Why play a real housewife? I'd been a character on the show, she says, catching herself quickly to make a correction. They don't like us to say characters. But I didn't know if I wanted to fully commit. And like, you can tell, like on the show, she's kind of doing a bit. The producers finally persuaded her to join the show. Think of her, Mr. Cohen suggested, as the carbonation in your favorite beverage. She's a kook in the best possible meaning, he said. Miss Tilly is also a gambler who, at the height of her career, took a severe left turn and did the Chucky movies. Can you imagine Cate Blanchett suddenly doing a slasher film? She decided to do Real Housewives in the same spirit. I thought I could take it and have some fun with it. Plus, I was having intimations of my own mortality. Unlike some other people on the show, with their laborious, perfected physical surfaces veneered over substrates of emotional, psychological, and financial decay, Miss Tilly didn't need the gig. In addition to an impressive resume, she has a greater rarity, a contented existence, partnered to the same man, a professional poker player, Phil Lack, for nearly 2 decades. She's won all these awards. She's won a GLAAD award. She's also a professional poker player and has the $1 million in earnings. And she is super rich from The Simpsons, like we said. And this is what Andy Cohen said about her. Listen, once you hear she owns a piece of The Simpsons, that is a delicious piece of historical information. Describing that as such a delicious piece of historical information, Andy Cohen, you are slimy. Like, you care about good TV, and that's all that you care about. And Bubbly Maddie, thank you for subscribing. And so she has said, like we have said a million times, I thank my ex-husband every single day. No one ever thought this show would go on for trillions of years. We know about all of that, but due to her money, she is fashion. She is fashion. I love a housewife who doesn't need the money. They truly see the difference in how they show up. Oh, where did the skeleton go? It's right here. Oh, my neck is tight. That did not feel good. It's here. Don't worry. There we go. I don't want it to fall. Okay, where was I? So her wealth puts her in a bracket apart from most fellow housewives. She has 2 adjacent houses next to each other in Bel Air, and she calls one her playhouse that is mainly used to store her wardrobe. She also has a beach house in Malibu that she does not visit very often because she says it's haunted. And she also has a house in Las Vegas, Vancouver, and Manhattan. And this is a dirty little secret. Most celebrities, if they are wearing high-end designer clothing, that is on loan. They do not own that. It is on loan to them. Jennifer is an owner, not a loaner. She just pays for all that stuff, buys it outright, and keeps it, and has a huge collection. This is from Cameron Silver, who has a high-end vintage clothing business in Los Angeles. It makes a huge difference when the clothes are your own, when you take your jewelry off at the end of the night and it goes into a safe as opposed to a security detail. So that is very unusual. Most people get all of their stuff on loan, and she buys all of it. Jennifer Tilly, aka Gratitude in Action, anytime she mentions her ex-husband. No, for real. Jennifer, you did the Chucky movies, but you don't go in the house because it's haunted. And she has, like I said, incredible fashion. Here's her with the Chucky doll, her Real Housewives cast photo, some iconic dress that she is wearing. And this is an article she did about her fashion. And this is a couple questions that I just picked out of this article from, I don't remember. So, on dressing for reality TV, I approach dressing for housewives as sort of like a costume. There's one where I wore a red and white striped caftan with red and white striped glasses and a red and white striped hat. I just thought the excess is what makes it fun. I know for a lot of scenes that the housewives don't consider important, they wear jeans and sneakers. But how much more fun is it when you're wearing something that's blowing in the wind with gold sunglasses and high heels and pumping gas? It's just much more of an exciting visual. This is why I love her, because like she is a character and she is an artist at the end of the day. I like how transparent she seems to be. She knows fashion and how to use it. And like it's art to her and it's a hobby to her. When I'm playing poker, like in tournaments, when the cameras aren't on me, So when cameras are not on me, I try to dress to fit in. Like I'm wearing a ratty t-shirt, hoodie, and scruffy hair. It's a sort of character that I play, a very serious poker player. But when I'm on TV, I play a character named Lady Gambler. So I have lots of cleavage, lipstick, and eyelashes. I put on as many diamonds as my skinny little fingers can hold. So they glitter when I'm throwing the chips. When the camera goes on, I can't help it. I have to put on a show. I love her. I am deeply obsessed with her. She was also bidding against Elizabeth Taylor on a jewelry collection. They were auctioning off some jewels that she had her favorite jewelers make. I actually bought a beautiful Bulgari ruby necklace that was being auctioned off. And before I was looking at it, they said, you know, that's Elizabeth Taylor's favorite necklace. You're probably going to be bidding against her. And then when it came time for the auction, she was sitting on a podium with Elton John and he was talking to her. And I thought, I guess she didn't want it that much. So I got it for next to nothing because everyone was there to gawk at Elizabeth Taylor's jewelry and get a free book and have cocktails and be fabulous. But after the auction, someone came up to me and said, Elizabeth is so upset. She's mad. Elton John started talking to her when it came up and she didn't realize they were auctioning it. They said, she's probably going to call you and try and buy it off of you. And I was very sad. But I thought, you know what? The beautiful ruby necklace or a personal phone call from Miss Elizabeth Taylor. Like, this is gold. She literally is just... like, she'll just say it. She doesn't care, and she never has. You've seen her be the same the whole time. I do love a good sale, but I found over the years I'm a bit of a shopaholic. I found things that I spend a little more money on than I'm comfortable with, but those are the things I'm really happy with in the long run. I love crazy and I love craziness. I adore Alessandro Michele, but at the same time, I love the row. You can buy a simple black dress and pick it out of the closet 10 years later and put it on. It's so easy, chic, and elegant. And on her first big buy, I was reading, I can't comprehend her interacting with Elizabeth Taylor. I was reading French Vogue, as one does, and it said that the new style for models was wearing a t-shirt and jeans, and they were wearing these Chanel necklaces that had giant C's on them. And I was like, oh my God, that's so throwaway chic and inconscient. She's smarter than me, I'm sorry. And I've got to get myself a Chanel necklace. I went to the Yellow Pages and I was like, oh my God, there's a Chanel somewhere in this town called Beverly Hills. So I picked out 2 necklaces that had the biggest C's, and that was kind of like her big buy back in the 80s, were these big Chanel necklaces, which is like so new money of her. And I love new money people. I'm so a new money person. And she has a very campy style. She said, life is too short to wear torn jeans and a white t-shirt. I'm kind of like a female drag queen. I love anything campy and over the top. And she takes pride in the fact that her outfits are original. I don't have a stylist. I have a very strong sense of what I like, and I have relationships with the designers. Even in the 90s, I would always go to photo sessions with a big suitcase of clothes. I didn't want to get stuck in what the stylist brought. So she has always styled herself and done her own fashion. Think about how many iconic red carpet looks we saw of her. And that is her, baby. And she wore this iconic necklace that is valued at $2 million in her cast photo. This is from 1935, and it is diamonds and rubies in a belt-like design. And she said she had had her eye on the necklace for about 20 years, and she bought it in 2019. I love Flato, and this is one of the most beautiful pieces he ever created. It's truly an iconic work of art. And in an interview with Town & Country magazine, she said the piece is a landmark in jewelry history, and it was originally commissioned by Cole Porter for his wife, Linda Lee Porter, and they bequeathed the necklace to Fred Astaire's daughter Ava. It was later owned by New York's Fred Leighton and most recently by dealer Leo Siegelson, and Siegelson sold it to Jennifer Tilly. So this necklace that's almost 100 years old that cost about $2 million she has and wore in her Beverly Hills cast photo. And it is literally like a historic piece of art. It truly is. Like that, you're not going to look at me and tell me that that's not the same as art. So let's look at her little house tour, and we are almost done. I know it's 9 o'clock, which is a lot of your bedtime, but we are almost done.
Here we go, and action.
Hello, Chucky fans. So wonderful to see you. I'm Jennifer Tilly, or maybe I'm Tiffany. It's very hard to keep track these days. As a special treat, I want to show you around Jennifer Tilly's palatial estate. Follow me. Come in, don't be shy. Nobody's going to bite you. Well, maybe Chucky. I want you to
see my very special closet. Look how big it is. It holds up to 15 coats and up to 3 bodies. Nobody's in there now, though. Not yet. How many of you are there? 2? Okay, no worries.
Like,
This is
Jennifer
my
Tilly is
beautiful
an
living
example of a rich person that's doing it correct. So many rich people, we've looked at their houses on this, have a horrible taste or no taste, and they're so boring. She's just doing it right.
I bought this house from a man named Ernst Stavro Blofeld. When I bought it, he told me the house had a curse on it. Curse? You know, realtors, they'll say anything to make a sale. This is the dining room. As you can see, the theme in here is mauve and purple, lavender, and diamonds. Don't mind the cobwebs. I haven't actually had a housekeeper in for quite a while because, well, I've been keeping somebody hostage for over a year and you know how it is.
Here we go.
A well-stocked dining room has lots and lots of booze because, you know, I'm somewhat of a recluse these days, and I like to just sit here and drink and drink and drink and drink and drink and drink. In fact, I'm going to have a cocktail right now. I really do have a fabulous life. I used to have a butler that would pour drinks for me, but he unfortunately passed away also. Follow me into the kitchen. This is where the magic happens. I cook all kinds of things, like I cook Swedish meatballs, cookies, birthday cake, and margaritas. That's all I know how to cook.
Oh, I want a birthday cake right now.
I'm not very coordinated, but one thing I can do is walk and hold my cocktail at the same time. Lots of practice.
Iconic.
The most beautiful room in the whole house. I decorated this room myself. There is no such thing as too much pink.
Beautiful.
Pink, 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 pink. I know you don't want to leave this beautiful, beautiful
And the
room,
doorways?
but there's more interesting things upstairs. Follow me. Be careful. Watch your step. Watch your step. I would hate for anybody to die in this household. What are you doing in here? I told you to get out of here. What? Oh, hey. This is the designer. I believe his name is Don somebody or another.
Her creepy monologue at the beginning of the stream really set the track for her dark humor.
I really decorated. Yes, John, spin your magical tales about how you decorated this room.
This does look very
Well,
familiar to me
everything was
too.
specially made.
I don't know.
Curtains,
Maybe I'm going
drapes,
insane.
The bedspread, the headboard, all the photos
Yes.
were manufactured in the art department. All
Yes.
the trophies.
No,
All the awards.
no. The trophies were not manufactured. Those are my trophies that I won for being a brilliant actress. Okay, let's get that.
Oh, did we do the celebrity homes and that's where we saw this? I think you're right. Because I knew I had seen this, but I didn't know why or where.
I won that from E! Entertainment Television, Most Improved.
We did do the celebrity houses and she was one. She was one that someone
I
submitted.
know how we got it. This is all about Jennifer Tilly and Tiffany. It's not about John, who decided he's the decorator. He's like a crazy man. He lives in the neighborhood. He's a
Production designer.
So thank you so much for coming, and we will escort you out and make sure you don't steal anything.
So iconic, we've met her in a cameo. No, for real. Because I was wondering where I'd seen this. I forgot I watched it with you guys. And she has, like we said, lots of properties.
Can we talk about your other house that's haunted?
What? I haven't been to the beach house for about 5 or 6 years.
What?
No, I have not. I was there, and all my friends were there, and I was washing the dishes. All of a sudden, I heard a knock on the door. Knock, 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 knock. I was like, oh my God. And I was there alone. I was like, please let it be my friend Paul. He forgot his swimming trunks. And I heard knock, knock, knock. And then I walked towards the door, and the door handle was like, pop, 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 like somebody changed the lock. And literally, all the hair on my arms and the hair on my scalp just stood up. And then I opened the door. And I painted the door red to get rid of evil entities, but apparently it didn't keep the ghost out. He thinks he lives there, and I'm disrupting his house.
And she said, I have a beach house in Malibu, but we can never really go there because there's a ghost there and he doesn't really like us being there. I can't blame him. So, And she also, like we said, has 2 houses that are next to each other.
Hey, what's up,
And someone
everybody?
is, like, stalking
Here's the
her
Real House
houses.
Square feet, 5
I'm
bedrooms.
actually going to skip this because she shows her house in a later clip, and he just kind of says, like, how many square feet it is. Basically, there's a normal-sized house and then a big-ass house, and she owns both of them. And she said she lives in the small house with her boyfriend, and she uses the big house to store all of her clothes and art, and that's where she has parties. And a place in New York.
Do you have a place here still?
Yes, I do. I have a tiny apartment in a co-op.
Is that true?
Yes, why would I lie to you?
Well, because you have all that.
Because I'm a housewife. He doesn't believe me.
No, because you have all that Simpsons money, so I figured you would have.
Okay, it's not that tiny.
Okay, there you go.
Can I get some
I knew there was a lie in there. Okay, very good.
It's tiny for me.
Yeah.
So, tons of real estate, and when she spoke with E! News, she said, I don't think of myself as rich, but I guess I'm delusional because I do have several properties and a purse that costs $33,000. Although it's easier to focus on her designer collection, like her Louis Vuitton boat purse that's worth $22,000. She says that she lives quite humbly. The actress explained that her and her boyfriend Phil focus on living with just they need. Me and my boyfriend live in a very simply and very small cluttered house. Yes, there's a giant house next door, but we don't go there. I guess we're kind of delusional. I don't have a giant mansion or chauffeur that calls me Miss Tilly and makes out with me like Sutton's chauffeur. I just live my life the way that I used to live. And this is a compilation of her on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So diva. And lately she has been posting thirst traps in her swimming pool. I hope at 66 I'm posting nude thirst traps in my swimming pool. She's literally so iconic. I want there to be an entire episode of Housewife with just Jennifer Tilly. And I wanted to end with a I'm Jennifer Tilly compilation.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Tilly. I'm your host, Jennifer Tilly. Call me Jen.
Jennifer Tilly? I'm Jennifer Tilly.
What would Jennifer Tilly do?
Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly is a beautiful, beautiful movie star.
So that is our icon, Miss Jennifer Tilly, and I pray that this is what 67 looks like for me. There's her in the dress with her face on it. I promised I would show you the full look of it. Naked in the hot tub, naked in the outdoor shower. She is just living so good. Like, she is living life the way life is meant to be lived. I want to be a quirky, badass weirdo like Jennifer Tilly. Bombshell, confident, incomparable. Body is still tea. Childless icon, child-free diva, 20-year boyfriend, super rich, like spending money in all the right ways. Here were most of our sources. Sorry, I'm not perfect. I didn't keep track of every little thing, and we watched tons of clips. And then here's our upcoming schedule. Next week, we are talking about Lindsay Lohan. Then August 25th, we are doing lore submissions. The link is on my website, or you can scan the QR code here. I will be on the road, but I'm going to be in a hotel room inside, so hopefully it'll go much better. Then we're talking about Raven Simone, the Delano Grape Strike, Tom Schwartz. We're going to make fun of Mormonism. We're going to talk about the Duggar Girls, what they're up to, and what I would have picked for them instead. October 6th, no stream because I'm going to be at Charlie XCX. I'm so excited. And then October 13th, Nene Leakes. And I'm about to go get the wine, I promise. So, let me pull up the little game for you to join while I go get the wine. Let me put the link in the chat. This is just a for funsies trivia game. You can join. You can just watch on my screen. The directions are on the screen. It is going to ask you your name. Whatever you put in will come up on my screen. You can put a joke or something funny. Don't put anything weird. You don't need to make an account. You don't need any of that. You can just do it on your phone or in a new tab. Let me find a good theme for us, and then I'm going to go get the wine that I do actually really like. We're going to do beach, because we haven't done that in a while, and it is a really, really elite lineup. I've never watched Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I've been itching for a Nene Leakes stream for ages. What's what called? Nearpod? This is Nearpod. So join.nearpod.com. I'm going to go get the wine. I will be right back while you join the game. And I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight to my TikTok people. Love you guys so much. Night-night TikTok. Be well behaved while I'm gone. Oh, it's saying like, see live rewards, $0. Thanks. That's why we do it. All right, BRB. I'm going to go get the wine. I'm not done. They just want to know what wine I was drinking, but I'm almost done. I've returned with the wine. I would not have guessed this, so I'm glad that you guys reminded me to go get it. So, this is our Costco wine haul. I do not drink much wine. I get drunk off one glass of wine, which is about where we are right now. This is Zolo. This is an unoaked Chardonnay from Argentina. I think this was like, I don't know. I don't remember. I bought 2 bottles of wine. One was $10 and one was $20. So between those two things, and yes, my Costco does have wine. Some Costcos have liquor. Mine doesn't have liquor. And what the Costco wine lady, who happened to be there, was telling me is that the reason why it gives me a headache and why this one is currently not giving me a headache is she was like, do you have sinus issues? And I was like, yeah, a lot of them. And she was like, some wine has a lot of histamines in it, and it's because of the certain kind of oak that is used in it. So she was like, get wine from Argentina or get wine from New Zealand. And so I got, this is Argentina. The other one was in New Zealand. Very, very good. Very good. It has like lots of certifications on it. Whatever. The teacher in the next classroom didn't even need to check on us. Okay, there's 27 of you in the game. I'll give people a couple more seconds to join. I'm glad that baddie taught you about wine. Me too. I had the worst headache after one glass and not taking my antihistamine. Blech. Yeah, now I'm your doctor. Congratulations. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the game. If you have not joined, it will let you join late. The game is pretty easy this time. I don't think there's any year questions. Yeah, and she said, stay away from French wines. Dude, I'm allergic to oak. I never even considered that. Yeah, and this, like, I'm feeling good. Living good, feeling good. I have it in this thing because, like, I drink it slow and I like it to be cold, and I don't want to put ice in it. I know, like, a lot of people do, but I don't. Oh, this still has a decent amount in there. I don't need more. I've been sorting my bedazzling kit, which feels fitting. It's what Jennifer Tilly would want. Where did Jennifer grow up? That is such because I love French wines. They get me drunk so hard. Well, if you don't have the issues, then you can drink them. And that's what this lady was telling me. She was like, it's not even about price point. It's just literally the region that it's from can, like, trigger that in some people. LA and rural Canada. Where did she go to college? Stevens College in Missouri. Very random of her, but whatever. When did she start professionally acting? In her early 20s. She has never been married. True or false? And like I said, I tried to look into her political beliefs, and the only thing I could find is that she has been a strong advocate of the LGBTQ movement from the jump, and that's all I could really find. And she has often said, she's like, every time people ask, she makes like Chucky jokes. Being like, oh, Chucky's nonpartisan, he only cares about himself. And her divorce was very amicable, and they remained close friends for decades. When was Jennifer Tilly consistently working as an actress? I missed the part of the stream, but I went to college down the road from Stevens, the other tiny college next to Mizzou. Oh, fun. Maybe you have common connections with her. And she's always been a consistently working actress. What game does she play professionally? Loving the usernames per usual. Miss Redacted's Wine. Shopping is my Xanax. The shy kid doing jump rope. What is her relationship status? Long-term boyfriend for 20 plus years, longer than her marriage was. And I like that her boyfriend was chill with her being best friends with her ex-husband. What does Miss Tilly have? Range, a fashion collection, a diverse real estate portfolio, and an icon spirit. There are no wrong answers on this one. Spirit. That's how you can tell I'm not using AI from my typos. Shopping is my Xanax in first place, then a poker tournament parking lot, Miss Redacted's Wine, Blobfish, Audra, Tennifer Jilly, a haunted beach house, Saturn Cat, Emily, Cat Mom 22, Fairy Charlie, Just Queen Tilly Things, Bride of Tilly, I Got a Piece of the Simpsons, Star Student, Meg T, Lori, Tilly Lover 67, The Meg, Rizza, Formaldehyde Baby, Jill, Costco Wine for the Win, Mike Wazowski's Boo, Mary, Lola, Brian B. Giggling, Boot Meaty 69, and a Tilly's parking lot. Ooh, thank you for being here. Any memes, anything to add? I'll stick around until we have like 3 more minutes till 9:30. That can be our new official end time. Lemur Banana in first place. Glad to see it. Me when my students start class tomorrow. Like, where is my applause? Realizing Jennifer Tilly played Celia when I thought I've never watched any of her work before. That's what, like, if you are, like, alive and have watched TV and you were not raised in, like, a religious cult, you've seen Jennifer Tilly. Like, you've seen her. You've seen her work before. And that's kind of where I was. I was like, yeah, I've seen stuff that she's been in. But I just didn't realize how much she had been in, how much range she had, her fashion. She was just, like, literally such an icon. The teacher's pet in me is so happy when I'm in the top 3. That's why I do this, because the teacher's pet in me is seeing and validating the teacher's pet in you. I'm seeing you, and I'm hearing you, and I'm validating you, and we're teachers petting together. That is us. Great memes as always, Lemur Banana. Lemur Banana is one of our permanent star students for their meme contribution. Also, if you want to be on Discord, you guys are way better at it than I am. You guys always talk to each other and it makes me happy. I get on there like once or twice a week and just catch up with the convo. I don't mean to crap on the recent streams, but after all the Mormonism, I felt so alive tonight. Big fan of Jennifer Tilly and big fan of this class. I felt like Jennifer Tilly was very much our roots. I love The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It was a fun deep dive going in on them. Those streams perform crazy well because those divas are super viral. But I just felt like I love talking about someone that's kind of niche like her. Like, she's not a #1 viral celebrity, but she has been consistently acting for years. The GIF, nice tits. I love Mormons, but they have some heavy topics. Exactly. And even though tonight started super heavy, that was not the tone of the night. Like, a lot of it is just her and her whimsy for life and her enjoyment of life. And I really admire that in her. So next week will probably be heavy because next week we are talking about Lindsay Lohan. So yeah. Call me, beep me, submit your lore for the following weeks. I love you all for being here. I love you all for being in this community that we have with each other. Yeah. And I will see you next Tuesday.